Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I do want to take a quick moment for those of you watching this in the future. This will be irrelevant, right? These are for the people watching these videos as they come out, right? I'm sorry, I have not been posting much lately. I've been very inconsistent. I don't really have like a good excuse. This is not my job, believe it or not. My real job has been taking up more of my time, and what time it has not been taking up has left me very tired. And I don't want to, like, I don't know, a lot of people probably don't care, right? But I really like these games, and I really want to do them justice, and I don't want to sit down to record and just give it like a shitty performance. I don't think I'm good at performing. I want to make that clear, right? But I don't want to be so fucking tired that I'm like not putting like my all into this, right? Or I don't know, I don't even really feel like I put like my all into it, right? I'm not going 150% every time, right? But you see what I mean, right? I would rather not put a part up than put a part up that I then watch later and be like, damn, I could have done so much better, right? You know, and there's like a part of me that's like, I try to improve, and so I'll look and be like, oh, I could have done this a bit better. But nothing would feel worse to me than looking at a video and being like, this was just so fucking awful. Like, I was clearly not in the right mind space, so I am sorry. I'm trying to organize that and figure out a better schedule. Going forward, things will be rocky. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm sorry. Hopefully this is resolved soon, and we can go to a normal schedule. It will likely be for a while. We'll probably be doing once a week, maybe twice if I can fit in, and even then that's kind of iffy. But we'll get there. It's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. If you're worried about me, I appreciate your concerns. Don't be. I'm fine. Don't worry about that. I just don't want to put it's a quality issue, right? This isn't like my life is going to shit. That's a different story. It is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I'm out here talking to nobody right now. There's a something that can be said about that. Not like like you're a person, but like there's no one in my room. My neighbors think I'm crazy. That's probably not due to the fact that I talk to nobody in my house all the time, but probably due to the fact that I never leave it. Though maybe it's both of these together. I don't know. I do wonder what they think about me sometimes. Anyway. It's February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. I get what he's going for here, but this is a bit of a ridiculous statement where it's like, yeah, it's like she's the opposite end of the courtroom. I'm literally the other side. I don't know how I feel about that. I want to touch on that line. You shouldn't believe your client. I think that she kind of makes some sense here, and hear me out. The idea being that as a defense attorney, it shouldn't matter whether or not your client did it or not, which is crazy, I know, and you're going to be like, some people are not going to understand this. Just hear me out here, right? The point being is that the defense attorney's job is to, you know, like get their client off the hook, right? They're trying to either prove them, not even prove them innocent. They don't have to prove anything, at least in an American court of law. So this is debatable, right? But the point being is that the defense attorney's job is to put as much doubt into the prosecution's case as is possible. So that way you cannot say with certainty that the defendant did it, right? That's what the defense attorney's job is. It doesn't actually matter whether or not the defendant did it. The defense attorney's job is to get them either off the hook or reduce the sentence as much as possible, right? By just instilling as much doubt, plausible deniability, or if possible, just disproving facts, right? Like, I feel like that's a lot harder to do. And it's more of a case of shutting off potential avenues of attack by saying, like, here is proof of, like, you know, hey, you, Folon, are under accusation of murder. We think you shot this man at this location on Friday at 7 p.m. And then my defense attorney is like, that's impossible. At Friday on 7 p.m., Folon was actually in this location, and here is proof of that, right? Like, you see what I mean? And then that's more of the idea here, the back and forth. The game presents it in a much different way, where I have to be the one that A, defends my client, and then B, prosecutes the actual fucking criminal, which is a little ridiculous, but it's fun. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. We'll be so fine, except she is in my mind, I guess. Mia lives inside me forever now. I'll be all alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Thanks, Emma. Appreciate it. Emma's cool, I'm not gonna lie. I like Emma. February 23rd, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court courtroom number 9. Damn. Edgeworth is back, my boy. Oh, I'm so excited to see him over there instead of Von Karma. You can't understand this. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Look, all right, my boy, the judgment is probably in the hands of the judge. It's like literally in his title and also his name. He is literally called Judge, right? Like, we haven't named the judge. He is just called Judge. He is indeed just called Judge. The dude is his name Judge? That'd be awesome. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable, oh my God, I don't know why that word tripped me up so much, has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, it's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. This is such a fucking ridiculous name. This is like, you cannot tell me someone would willingly want to be called the cough-up queen. I don't believe it. This is insanity. But she seems to love it, so whatever. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. In the middle of the trial? What the fuck is it? Bro, come on. My client is gonna die or go to life in prison. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? What the fuck? Bro, this is literally just rice. Like rice and what are these, sesame seeds? Like, what? This is the most sad lunch I've ever seen in my life. It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Caviar, obviously. Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Fucking God, dude. It's 10! How hungry can you be? How hungry are you at 10 a.m.? Come on! Like, we just started, dude! You couldn't have eaten anything before this? Holy hell! Now I know if I ever need to go to court, and I'm a witness or a defendant or whatever, even if I'm just in the fucking audience, I should bring lunch for the judge. He'll love it, I guess. Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. Oh, how interesting. So she maybe has like some kind of tie to the victim. Maybe if we dig into her past, we'll find out that her and the victim maybe didn't get along. Who knows? She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Star was a detective? Ah! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients, not visitors and bliants. That would be ridiculous. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. What the fuck? What is this? I'm getting ganged up on. Hold on a second. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness account. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Jesus, look at her. Why she kind of looks so cool though? Hear me out. Anyone else feel this? Like she's got the no arms in the jacket sleeves, right? Like It's insanity.
Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Goodman, that was his name. Because he was a good man.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife, which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Hear me out. Like, they're presenting this as this is the most foolproof testimony ever. There's no way you can disprove anything. There's no evidence. Like, literally no evidence has been presented to prove that it was Lana who did this. Literally, she just got up on the stand and said, yeah, I saw it happen with my own eyes. And everyone was like, yep, that it has to be that. People can lie. How many cases have you seen me do, Judge, where people have lied through their teeth? Literally every single case I've ever done? Like, come on, dude. All right, let's pick this apart. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. How did you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
He loves it. He fucking loves it. Edgeworth is like, yeah, I did all this. That's right. Anyway, bows.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr,
do you have something personal against prosecutors?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired.
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. This is insanity! What do you mean? Oh, I hate prosecutors. I have motive to hate the investigators and the prosecutors in the area because I was laid off for my dream job. I loved it so fucking much, but I would never give biased testimony. That'd be ridiculous. Like, what do you mean? On my way to deliver a lunchbox to her boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective?
Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying.
I mean, look, like, would you rather be that boyfriend or yet another boyfriend? I'd probably rather be yet another, because for some reason that feels way more like accusatory and demeaning. Oh, it's that one. But then yet another is pretty bad too. I don't know. Like, I guess when you're that boyfriend, you might be boyfriend number 2. And you might not have known what you were getting into, right? That's way more tragic. If you sign up to be yet another boyfriend, you already know, right? Like, you know what you're getting into. You're cool with it. It's fine. Who cares?
The security guard room is in the lot in Block A, or in A block. Block A is what we called it back when I worked there, which I definitely don't have any resentment for. It's up on the 2nd level, so you can see everything from there.
Except directly underneath it? Like you can't see my mouse cursor, but like where the console is that's underneath the awning, how are you gonna see that?
That would be the room with the security sign.
Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime.
When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like... how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
Am I looking at pumpkins wrong? What the fuck does that mean? Can I get a sanity check from anyone? What the fuck does that... When you look at a pumpkin chock full of seeds? When you just look at a pumpkin, aren't they all chock full of seeds? Unless you're looking at like one that's carved, right? You carve the seeds out, then it wouldn't be. But then you're looking at, typically you're not looking at a pumpkin at that point. You're looking at like a jack-o'-lantern, right? Like, do you feel things when you look at pumpkins? I don't. Is there something wrong with me? What the fuck? I have no idea what that means. You and me both, Judge. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective?
Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. It's almost like I wanted to kill that motherfucker. And then I just did it and blamed it on Lana Sky. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. Yeah, you're telling me, buddy. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Witness. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had to take a sip of water, but I wasn't ready to talk yet. Give me a sec. Sorry about that.
Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
Oh my fucking god! What is this photo? Bro, we are so fucked. What do you mean? Now we're fucked, all right? Before it was just her making shit up. Lana, what the fuck is this? I guess Lana never denied it. She was like, yeah, I killed the bitch. What of it? A photograph? You took this.
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
That is insanely suspicious. What the fuck? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
Chief Prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand.
Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person.
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see. Hold on, I want to look at something real quick. The moment of the crime is photographed by her. I assume she's... Yeah, okay, this was taken after and... Okay, got it. I thought, for some reason, because of the order in which she gave the testimony, this photo was presented before she said she saw Lana stab him. So I was wondering if, like, maybe this photo was taken before the actual stabbing, but I think I'm stretching here. I think I'm getting things mixed up.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we?
For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. How did you know? Oh, okay, wait, no, we've already seen this. Are we back to the beginning again? I thought we had more to go with. Oh my god, yeah, holy shit, I forgot how long this is. Okay. Garish car holding a knife, then she thrust it into the... Yeah. What do we have for evidence here? His ID... Oh, I forgot I can spin shit. I gotta do that now more often. I don't think this is relevant, really. A statue? There's no way the fucking prosecutor's trophy is relevant, right? Like, come on. Hell no, it's not. Let me look at the knife itself. Usually in his toolbox, traces of the victim's blood, no prints. Well, she's wearing gloves in the photo, right? Yeah. So, like, I suppose you can make the argument for no prints. And it'd still be her, that is. I don't know why I'm looking at it like this, like, ooh, maybe if I look down the point of the knife, I can relive what actually happened. I don't fucking know, dude. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office entered the lot at 5:12. Edgeworth entered at 5:12. I'm also sorry, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. So that means Goodman died somewhere between 2:30 and 5:30. Edgeworth's car came back at 5:12. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. 675-12-2. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know that the blue Badger panel is relevant. And then Lana called her sister Emma at 5:18. That's 6 minutes after. Does opening this do anything for me? I don't think it does, truthfully. This is just gonna replay it, right? Yeah.
What's wrong? You look like I do during finals.
Never mind. It's nothing.
What do I have that contradicts what she said here? Parking lot with Edgeworth's car.
Here's the floor plan. I don't know that this tells me anything, really. I was wondering how she could have maybe gotten the picture, but she could have just stood in like this empty parking spot, or like between the empty spot and the one directly below it with the car. She could have like stood on that line to get the picture through the chain link fence. And then I don't think this photo does anything for me. Let me take a quick look again. We're start at the beginning. We'll try to find something suspicious. There's no way we, like, yes, we could probably disprove this or, like, argue that fact, but I don't think that's very relevant. She was on her way to deliver the lunchbox for her boyfriend, which meant, yeah, so she pulled in. Is there a way for me to get when she arrived? Is this parking stub, is there anything else on it? Edgeworth. That's it, huh? Miles Edgeworth, 1712. Man, this is dated the day of the crime.
The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair.
Perhaps.
Just goes to show you, you'll never know what will happen when you run a yellow light.
Yeah, you might get fucking caught up in a murder trial, I guess. Is there any fucking reason I should look at this? Do you tell me anything? I don't think so. Why is it all beat up? It checked autopsy report. Loss of blood. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Yeah. I mean, this all checks out. Name of the deceased, Bruce Goodman, 36 male. February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Oh, okay, no, so it wasn't... definitely between 4 and 5:30. Got it. I feel like the timeline is just so tight, right? Edgeworth's car comes in at 5:12, and this phone call is at 5:18. There is 6 minutes between... This isn't when he parks his car, mind you. This is when he gets the stub, which I know is like seems pedantic, but he then has to pull into the spot, park his car, undo his seatbelt, grab his suitcase or whatever he has, probably get out of the car. Like, minutes are passing as all of that is happening, right? It just seems so incredibly tight. What the fuck does this note mean? 6-7S. I have no fucking clue, dude. I genuinely have no idea. Maybe I should look at the ID. Thought I could investigate something on it, right? Am I crazy? Oh. I have to investigate them. Huh? Am I losing my mind here? It's a little difficult because I use my mouse to rotate it, but then also I have to, like, click. Okay, here we go. A name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189.
I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs.
What else would they use?
Letters, silly! They're the reason we have a written language in the first place.
True.
Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID YABADAB. See? Wouldn't that be better?
YABADAB? Well, it does have a certain ring to it.
Exactly my point.
It doesn't take much to amuse her. All right, that didn't fucking help me at all. Sense something. The wire fence, she saw him stand. She saw Lana standing next to a garish car. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip into. Man, I'm gonna be real. I'm super not confident in this, but like, I'm gonna try using the photo here and be like, your photo doesn't have him have her holding the knife. I don't like it though. Oh, I didn't want to expect that. Excuse me. I wanted to present it.
And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife?
I'm so mad that this seems to be correct.
As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Yeah, okay, so like, we progressed further, but this is why I didn't want to present this in the first place, right? So I was like, obviously this would be taken afterwards.
Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter.
Huh?
See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph.
Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Got a better idea? Man, fuck it, objection.
Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime.
Okay, this is stretching, all right? I don't, like... Do you know how long it takes to stab a person? I can't tell you in exact detail, but I imagine it's pretty fucking fast. It probably takes as much time to stab someone once as it does to pull out a camera and take a picture, right? Like, but we're trying to do something.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-size lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
Yeah, kind of true. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Can we prove the murder wasn't planned, though? Let's press real quick first. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves?
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've gotta think of a way to show them this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Okay, we've been here. Don't smile like that. Okay. How do we prove that it was not oh, fucking hell. I think I clicked too many times. Wire fence. Murder was planned. The rubber glove proves it. How do we prove the murder was not planned? I don't think this photo helps. I don't think the parking lot photo helps. A phone call? Why would she call Emma? I don't know if that's relevant. The note is weird. How do I prove it wasn't premeditated? I don't think that we found the ID next to, like, on the other side of the room. I just love spinning shit, is what I've also realized. Let me look at this again. Single stab wound. Yeah, loss of blood from chest wound. I don't think the cell phone tells me anything. So I'm like, if it was premeditated, why would she call Emma there at all? That's not really like proving that it wasn't premeditated. It's just like a weird thing to me, right? Traces of victim's blood, no prints, usually found in Edgeworth's toolbox. I'm really not confident here. The note. 6-7S 12-2. I don't think this means anything to me yet. This definitely doesn't mean anything to me yet. Ugh, the parking stub is just proving when... I feel like the parking stub is going to be used when we determine that he was, like, killed earlier, maybe? And that, like, Edgeworth's car hadn't arrived yet. But that I don't know. I'm kind of stretching here. The King of Prosecutors trophy. Can use that. Found at prosecutor's office crime scene. I mean, it makes sense why his ID would be there, because, you know, it's where he fucking died, right? It is weird to me that his ID was on the other side of the room, though, right? Like, if we look at the floor plan, it was under the security room, pretty much. But yet his body was found all the way on the other side by Edgeworth's car, which is, you know, on the right side here. I don't know, it's just weird to me. There's a telephone there. I don't think that matters. I don't see how that's relevant. Man, I'm gonna just start presenting stuff. Yeah. It's not looking good. We should save again, just in case. The rubber gloves prove it. Is there something else that I could disprove, maybe? I don't think there is. Someone standing to a garish car. This has to be the thing we're trying to disprove. It's not the stub. How can I prove? If the knife is usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, is Edgeworth's toolbox in his car? Why does she have his knife?
But like, I don't, if anything, I feel like that further would prove that it's premeditated, right? In an attempt to frame Edgeworth. You feel me? I don't know. Oh my God. I'm so mad.
Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? Bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are the prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh.
Okay, I don't agree with this because if anything, I feel like using Edgeworth's knife would, you could then argue that they're trying to frame Edgeworth. Like, that's, I don't know, man.
This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
This is hilarious, though. What the fuck? Also, actually, this brings me to an even further question. Did Edgeworth not lock his car? How did she get in the trunk to get his knife? Like, why was his trunk open? Does he just not lock his car? He should lock his car. It's a nice car. Like, come on. Order, order.
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Oh, fuck, he said that. I hate it when he does it, but I also love it. I love this little fucking sprite so much because it means I'm about to get dunked on.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing?
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now?
Ooh, yo, okay, we're getting into some spicy shit here.
Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
All right, well, you've already fucked up because I know it was a single stab wound. What a loser. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
Emma is me. Wait a minute, this is actually me. This is such a ridiculous claim. So true, though. In any case, I don't have a good rebuttal to that statement that is taken to the logical extreme. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Holy shit, that was awesome. Yo, Emma's racking up points here. All right, well, I'm gonna press everything, but I already know what to refute here. I feel good now. Now I've got some direction.
You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she is about to tell. I try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you!
Try not to confuse the defense, witness. They're not very quick on their feet.
Edgeworth, what the fuck, guy? I saved you 2 months ago! How quickly he forgets!
Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves.
That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office.
You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof that she did.
This is ridiculous! You have no proof that so-and-so killed this person. Well, you have no proof that they didn't. Therefore, I'm right. Like, no! Mr. Edgeworth.
Thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phone first, at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? Because you need it for your story to make sense. Sure that they had a grudge. How are you so sure? I have no reason, but believe me. What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See, we agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple.
Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
A human machine? That's a contradiction! Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sigh smells like citrus fruit.
What the fuck? Emma, are you good? What the hell? A, how are you even smelling his sigh from the other side of the courtroom? And B, why? It's fucking weird.
You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces. We don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me?
Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that.
Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people! Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know? Star has turned out to be... This Star has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns the fastest. It's a scientific fact. Wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
I'm sorry. I love this sprite. It's adorable. She's writing down these little notes.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
All right. Now. Oh, fucking hell. I clicked one too many times. I did it again. No. Her testimonies are so short. I'm used to like the late game testimonies where they were like 8,000 years long and I pressed the wrong fucking button again. God damn it. I'm losing it, dude. I'm actually losing it here. Okay, all right. Scandalwick, more testing. Tab is what we use to pull up. Oh, we got there. Okay. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. It's just moss? What the fuck? I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm the one who presented this. What a hunk. He's my hero, really? Okay, damn, this is me, though. Wait a second. So true, bestie. You and me, we get along. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness. Okay, this is hilarious. These are getting better and better. You've got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. What? Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for spattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. Thanks, bud. And judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Is her right? This is our chance! Chance for what, I wonder? Yeah, Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Okay, we've seen this. Short Rick burns the fastest. Yeah. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. Was she wearing it here? She wasn't! She has no scarf here! You utter fool! You buffoon! You've dug your own grave! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. That's my man right there! He's clapping back! Oh my god! What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh. That can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. She was kind of dunking on you earlier, Edgeworth, and this is exactly what I love to see.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim.
This next testimony might just be the moment of truth.
Apprehending the suspect.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot, even though I have no legal jurisdiction to do so. I'm just a lunch lady. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Emma, you utter fool. You fool, you buffoon! No, Mr. Wright is weak against venomous snake bites, not poisonous! It's venomous!
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Why the fuck is there an oil drum in the parking lot?
Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr!
Fuck. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Apprehending the suspect. Bro, this bitch is crazy. Can I just go ahead and throw that out there? Like, we all know it, but... Alright, she tried to run off to a partition to the side.
So, where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her for more details? No, how'd you get through the chain link fence? Did you hop it? I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchlund car was...
She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The cough-up queen lunch lady athlete, indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away?
Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say?
If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word.
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone? She can't mean... Yeah, hold on. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the scene of the crime?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
On a cell phone updated in the court record. Word muffler. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies.
Oh, look at her go.
The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during...
Oh, this is Judge. And during that time, you climbed the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras.
Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The other... Ah! The parking lot entrance.
That's right! It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent! More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though.
So Miss Sky tried to run? I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it! You have to believe me!
Okay. So... Wait a second. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Interesting. How could you have seen it all through the partition? Right? Am I insane? Because there's a partition there. I don't trust this. How did you see this? Okay, all right, we're good, we're good.
Miss Starr, I have to conclude that your personal grudges against...
I'm starting that one whole over. Oh my god, I fucked it up so bad. Give me a second to get a drink of water real quick. Okay, take two.
Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
You killed Goodman. And you're trying to blame Lana and Edgeworth. It's so obvious now, like...
Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
Let's look at the floor plans.
You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. But what?
Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong.
The witness lied about... I mean, she lied about what she saw because she couldn't have seen it, right? Or no, I guess she lied about where she saw it. I think, yeah, she was in A block the whole time. There's no way she could have been in B block.
Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
Objection!
A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard up until now points in one direction.
Place from where Miss Star witnessed the crime was here. The security room?
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Oh, so there's no way she could have committed it then if she saw it from the second floor security room.
So maybe like her boyfriend committed the crime and she's covering for him?
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has gotten the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
Guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would she lie about it? It has to be to cover for someone, right?
It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? But me? Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B Block.
Or no, this is Phoenix, but she lied and said she saw it from B Block.
Must make a vital difference, but what? What would change?
Angle of view of the crime, distance of the crime, difference in lighting. Difference in lighting is definitely not it. Angle of view to the crime. I don't know that that matters. I think it's distance to the crime. But again, I'm just, I'm a little paranoid. I want to do this all over.
It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
You...
Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry jam? I mean, honestly, sounds pretty good. Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it.
This would have taken so long! So many things could have happened in between now and then. Holy shit, dude! That's insanity! She ran around the whole damn building!
That's why I had to go through to the visitors' parking in B Block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Oh my fucking god, dude. Raises up spork. Jesus Christ, dude.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
I have any evidence to stop this? I'm gonna raise an objection after I save. Me saving before every decision because I'm a little low on life. Wouldn't be me.
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yard. Yeah, I don't know how to exclaim like she does. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr.
Right? I thought she was gonna say something else. I thought some other words were coming out of your mouth, Emma.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Oh!
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time?
Decisive evidence, here we go.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Okay, she acted in self-defense now. Like, I don't fucking know.
This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe.
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Objection!
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. I mean, yeah, this makes sense. You can't just show up with random... I don't know, though. We have shown up with some random bullshit before, I feel like, but whatever.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm so used to people saying Mr. Wright. Ugh.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Victim shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Decisive evidence, all right. So, let me take a look at this here shoe. I'm gonna just flip it around. Anything in it? Nope. They stepped in blood.
Ah, there's blood here too!
On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's.
He must have stepped in a puddle of his...
Or no, this Phoenix, Jesus. Must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood.
All this blood, it's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue.
This blood, it's my sister's, right?
It appears so.
Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure Goodman attacked her. And she defended herself, got the knife from him. I'm not buying it.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
This when the suspect is admitting she did it? True, Lana is admitting it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Star. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime?
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunch boxes, gentlemen.
I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next. I mean, she clearly just wanted to play detective, right? Like, that's absolutely what happened here. 2 types of blood, one was the victim's.
So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
And she got away with this little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman.
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe.
The other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie?
Huh?
Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murderer was committed in cold blood or whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means we can more or less narrow down any sample of blood to just one person. Or so I hear.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Skye's.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. Yeah. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe?
A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There's a problem.
If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. That. Take that.
I wonder if you noticed the blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Or there's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Judge, that's a threat. I'm feeling threatened. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of this shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe?
This photograph. No. Was there blood on the floor of the crime scene? What do I use here? The blue badger panel, obviously. I think...
Photo...
I don't know that the photo is really relevant there.
Parking lot floor plans.
The knife? It's weird that there's only traces of the victim's blood. So there's 2 types of blood on the shoe, but there's only 1 type of blood on the knife. So how did Lana get cut? Yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Would you like a grinder or a grind from the heel of my boot, Mr. Wright?
Man, tough crowd. Yeah, I'm not. We're gonna do a little cheating here.
Mr. Wright, let's be scientific about this. Examine the evidence.
As I thought, a waste of time. Well, that was a nice break. Let's return to the testimony, shall we?
Oh, interesting.
It just put me back here.
2 types of blood and the other blood type.
The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I mean, it's gotta be like something here, right? Oh God, I gotta go through all the fucking fish guts thing again. I'm gonna save here. That way we can just reload if it goes bad right here. There's a problem. And then we present where we show the bottom of the shoe. Take that. Blood on the bottom. Then what's contradictory about the blood on the bottom of the shoe? Loss of blood from chest wound. Is it the autopsy report? Like, how did the blood get there? Right? What do I show to ask this question? Ah, fuck. All right, hear me out. We're gonna do this. There's a problem. And actually, I'm just gonna save again right after the fucking after the shoe bit. That's the smarter move here. I'm not really sure what I need to, because I'm not super sure where we're going with this, right? Your blood. Okay, I think it's about here is when he presents it to me. So we'll save here. Possibly be contradictory about the shoe. The photo? Oh, let's go. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Yeah, this is kind of what I was getting at. Like, where did he step on it? But I didn't know what I needed to show. Like, I didn't think that the photo was, I guess I get it now. Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor. There could have been bloody footprints, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order! 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 Well, witness?
What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Let's go! He's my boy!
I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness. Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Why was there an oil drum with water? Water?
What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason.
Aha! You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
What? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe ties her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Aye, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe.
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. What? Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Hold it! Oh!
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me don't tell me you have something else. I'm stuttering because I'm also flabbergasted. How much fucking evidence does she have?
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you'll be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this.
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning.
She fucking confessed, like...
And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
How many last pieces of evidence are we gonna have? Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. However, the defense is going to save their game in case they fuck up here.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah,
I'll think later.
yeah, there's a problem.
Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph. The muffler! What the fuck is that?
Take that!
The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor,
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
a muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe.
I see. And I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. The phone call where she talked about muffler?
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh.
Woo! Yo, she is losing it. Woo! She's almost like she's cheering. Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew. That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry?
Damn, I can't believe he's eaten that. He had the caviar lunch, another caviar lunch, and then the triple decker afterwards. Like, holy shit, dude. Bros like me. Anyway, this is where we're ending the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I beg your patience in these times for me. I'm doing my best. I'll try and get more videos out when I can, and I'll try to be a bit more consistent. But I wanted to be realistic with you all. But anyway, if you made it this far with me, I really do. I genuinely, really, truly appreciate you all, every single one of you. I forgot. If you look in the description, you'll find a link to the store page. You can get the game for yourself. So you can play through it before me and then laugh at me as I bumble my way through here. That's a very common thing. That's fine. That's the point of these, right? But again, I really truly appreciate all of you. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day or your night or whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.